As the wintry seasons pass on, I've noticed a certain stillness when many inches of snow have fallen. Even when a plow truck drives by with its tire chains on, it isn't loud. The sounds of sirens, fire alarms, and barking dogs seem to be absorbed in the snow. A muffledness has been born when everything turns white, and the quietness of this world is something I'll always treasure. The second poem here. It's funny how like ordinary things during the day can trigger inspiration. When I lived in Bellevue, PA, a few years ago, my stove kept malfunctioning. The pilot light kept going out about every other day. So I decided to write a little poem about it. It's entitled "The Pilot Light's Going Out." The pilot light's going out, now I have to strike a match. It seems like yesterday you were such a good catch. We hit him off like a rocket, sparks flew when we were near. As the money left my pocket, I really had nothing to fear. But we quickly tied the knot before we knew each other well. Our apple began to rot, and our feelings went to hell. In no time at all, our marriage was forever through. My pilot light's gone out, and our love has gone out too. Thank you, I appreciate that. This poem is one of my longest ones. I hope I won't bore you. It's about a dog, and it's entitled "Last Request." The retired man threw a stick. His German shepherd went to retrieve it. When he was done, he took it with him, but then decided to leave it. The man first got him when he was a pup. Like a child, he cared for it and watched him grow. And now the dog's muzzle is turning gray, and his age was starting to show. A couple months later, he noticed the dog stopped eating. There were dark circles under his eyes, and from the mouth he started bleeding. The man took him to a vet. His dog would get better, he was sure. But the vet told him he had a disease, and that there was no cure. Should you put him to sleep, he asked. The vet said that would be best. He stood up and caressed the dog's head, who was lying on the table at rest. He then asked about a pet cemetery. The vet mentioned a crematory too. The man decided on the latter. He felt it was the right thing to do. A year later, he had gone to see his doctor. The MD said he didn't have long to live. The man felt very cheated because he had so much more to give. While in the hospital, a friend came to visit. He was a local, respected undertaker. The man asked him to do something, because soon he would meet his maker. 10 minutes later, they shook hands, and suddenly his grip became tight. The man drew his final breath, and his complexion was very white. The FD would fulfill his wish. Not even the man's family would know. He remembered the first time he met him. It was nearly 40 years ago. The next day was the visitation, the morning after he'd be buried. Many people came to pay their respects. A woman felt sad because he never married. When everyone had left the parlor, the undertaker knew it was time. He'd carry out his friend's last request as the grandfather clock began to chime. The director went to his office and picked up an urn near a basket. He went back to the chapel and placed it in his friend's casket. Now, I'm sure everyone here likes movies. Have you ever seen the movie Seabiscuit with Tobey Maguire? I saw it a few years ago when it first came out. I saw it twice on the big screen, and I liked it so much I went out and bought the book. And after I read the book, I decided to write this little poem. It's entitled "An Oak Tree." There is an oak tree in Ridgewood